joining the live stream or for watching the recording. As always, today is again an open live stream. I'll be here for the next 20 minutes. And whoever has any questions about immigration to the Czech Republic, all the different visa types, residence permit types, permanent residency, citizenship, whatever, or any questions about starting a business in the Czech Republic, getting health insurance, finding a place to live, all these kind of questions, if you have, write them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them right here. So first to Niranjan Garg. Hi sir. Hi Niranjan, nice to have you here. And Herr Spina, where is the real online? What do you mean? What do you mean real online? Please clarify, I don't get the question. Subhash, I don't understand what you're writing. Mahebub, hi sir. Pepiskova, hi from Senegal. Hi to Senegal from Prague. Subhash, hello sir. Hi Subhash. Oh sorry, I thought there was no people. Yeah, it always takes a bit before people start joining and asking questions, so that's all right. Lovely orchids. Hello sir, I had my visa appointment recently, but they didn't take my interview and gave me my passport back. What should I expect? Well, that's okay. Like, you should get your passport back. It would be concerning if you didn't. If they kept the passport, that would be weird. And that you didn't do an interview, they might call you later. They might approve it without the interview. Doesn't mean anything. Derek Tanto, hi sir from Dubai. Hi to Dubai. Anders Pina, dobrý večer. Dobrý večer. Vicky Bahe, hi dear sir. Can you arrange factory work permit Czech Republic? Oh, okay, another one. Okay, Vicky. You will, if you go to my through my live streams or video in general, you'll see I talk about this a lot, and I can get very angry about that, because please, depends. Like, if you're from, depends on the country, but if you're from the countries where there are quotas for economic migration, which is most of African countries, most of Asian countries, especially India, Pakistan. So even if you get work, if you get a job offer from the Czech Republic, the chances that you will ever get a visa or residence permit based on that job are almost zero. And if you get a visa based on that, you might need to wait for 2 years before you even get an appointment and get enrolled into some of the programs or whatever. So if you're from some countries where there is quotas at the embassy, the Czech embassy in that country, then makes no sense to even look for a job in the Czech Republic at the moment. Might change in the future, but until then I would probably recommend looking into some other countries than the Czech Republic. Subhash, after getting my visa, can I take the money from my account, because I almost took all the money from my account? Yeah, officially the money you need to prove when you're applying for the visa are officially meant to cover your whole stay in the Czech Republic, in case there is some calculation for that. So the money should keep you alive if something happens. So you should ideally have the money there the whole time, but after the visa approval, no one will check it again. So if you move the money somewhere else, no one will know. Mahebub Shaikh, sir, I applied for employee card application in June in New Delhi, and yesterday I received email from the embassy that I have official letter to collect, but embassy not informed about visa. Well, that means that you were rejected. If you have an official letter and they want you to come collect it, most likely the result is denied, and this is the letter saying why. There might be other explanations as well, but if they needed something from you, some additional documents, interview, whatever, they would let you know what you need to come, what you need to bring, when do you need to come, all that. So if they just told you to collect a letter, that's probably a denial letter. Isaac Yusuf, or Isaac, sorry for mispronouncing all your names, guys. Yeah. Hello, my wife is applying for family reunification from Nigeria. She was invited for a second interview, and we are not really sure why. They said she does not have to bring any additional documents. Yeah, usually when they do this, the problem is with your marriage or your relationship, or like it might be a problem or a problem. But the thing is that often what happens is that you've been married for 3 years, 5 years, whatever. You came here, but you left your wife in the home country. So in this case, Nigeria. And now she wants to come here. So you basically haven't seen each other for 5 years, other than maybe short vacation when you go there. You don't live together. You don't own a house together. You don't have a joint bank account, because why would you if you're both in different countries? So the ministry obviously kind of questions the relationship. Like, why didn't she come sooner? Why didn't she come directly with you? Why at least like you didn't visit each other, or she didn't come to you using a short-term visa? Or like, how are you a married couple if you don't own anything, if you don't have a house together, if you don't have joint bank accounts, all that? So often the problem is that the ministry does not see your relationship as a real one, and they might deny it. But of course, depends on. The good thing is that they invited her for the interview. So if she manages the interview well, it might still be approved. If she manages the interview not that well, the application might be denied. But it's very difficult to like guess what they will be asking. But usually what we see is around these like lines, as I told you now. Andres Pina, I already live in Czech, so if I would like to move my little brother here from country to live with me, do you recommend any way? He's 14 years old. Well, I don't see it really as a plausible way. Maybe studies might be the easiest way to do it, because like for family reunification, brothers, sisters don't qualify unless they are in the condition that they cannot take care of themselves. So if your brother was like really sick and he had to be in a bed the whole time, and you were the one taking care of him, probably the family reunification might work. But other than that, not really. And that would be difficult to argue that's like he needs your attention now if he didn't need it or hasn't needed that for the last couple of years, or however long have you been living here. So like anything related to you probably is not gonna work out. It might potentially, but the chances are pretty low. So probably like a student visa when he reaches 15 and he wants to study some high school, but that's also kind of a long shot, because why would he study a Czech high school instead of studying in the country of origin where he knows the language, knows the system and all that? So the main way to do it, or the right way to do it, would be for the parents to move here and then bring the child with them. Samjiv KG, how to convert my employee card to blue card? This is my second card. Sanjeev, I already did a video about that like just 2 weeks ago or something, specifically about this topic. Like why would you do that? Why would you not do that? What are the procedures, the documents, and all the other like relations? So please go to my channel and look for switch blue card, employee card, blue card, something like that. And I did a video specifically about this topic 2 weeks ago. Maybe last week, I don't remember, but very, very not far ago. Sebastian Galchik, some insider info from visa after earnings report. Question is, what do you really mean? Like visa after earnings report, what do you mean? So you did your taxes and now you want to use the taxes for your visa application? Or what kind of visa application is it? Is it a visa or residence permit? What's your situation like? What's your household situation? Do you live alone or do you live with someone else? And do you really mean that you have a trade license and you did your tax return and you want to use the tax return for your application, or do you mean something else? So if you can please clarify a bit, I don't get the question, so then it will be good and I'll be happy to answer. Shakfaiz Golra, hello brother, I'm from Pakistan. Hi, I'm from the Czech Republic, and I salute to Pakistan. Subhash, is it possible to make friends in the Czech Republic? Are Czechs called people like Russians? Is there any stereotype on dark-skinned people? Okay. I wanted to make some weird joke about this, but actually that's a solid question. Um, well, let's maybe start from the second part of the question. If there are any stereotypes on dark-skinned people. Well, generally speaking, it's a weird situation because generally Czechs are pretty kind of, you could call it racist, but it's not like in the way that they would beat you up or they would like really discriminate you somewhere. But they can have like a weird, like they can have weird jokes or I don't know. It's more like let's say verbal racism than like an actual racism. I would say that someone would beat you or someone would not allow you to work or stuff like that. So in this sense, yeah, but I don't see like any big trouble with that. So of course, yeah, you can find people and you can get in situations that where the color of your skin will make a difference, but I would not be too worried about that. Because on the other hand, Czechs are kind of like they don't care about you if you don't really care about them. If you care about them in a bad way, they can get very, very bad, let's say. But if you leave them alone, they usually leave you alone as well. So that's about this. As for making friends, well, kind of depends. I would not say that Czechs are like cold or something, but it of course depends on like also how you behave. Because if you're like, okay, that's a difficult question because it depends primarily on your like personality and the circles where you want to go. Because usually foreigners tend to stick to foreigners. Okay, so Indians like have the Indian community and they just stick there. They go to the celebrations of Indian whatever culture and all the events and all that. And they don't really mix with Czechs. Also, if you don't go to the bar, so you don't have any activities you'd go to, it might be pretty difficult to find friends in general. But if you're smiling and you're like nice to people and you start talking with people in a bus or tram or whatever, they will speak with you as well. And especially younger people, especially if you speak English, younger people speak English, they want to practice it, they travel, so they're used to meeting people from different cultures. So I think if you really want to make friends, you will make friends. If you just stick to your community, don't go out, or you go out, but just with your group of whoever, friends or colleagues or whoever, you will hardly make friends. But it's like a general rule, I think. So I think if you want to make friends and you're genuine and nice person, you will. That was a bit too long answer for this question, but yeah. Ramachandran, waiting for student regime visa appointment. My question regarding the health insurance you're offering is that I can take it now since my visa is not yet confirmed. It may take 30 days or God knows. Yeah, what should I do? Any suggestions? Well, you cannot. You could potentially get the insurance now, but kind of doesn't make sense because you don't know if the visa will be approved. It can still be denied. And if it is approved, you don't know when it is approved. And you need to have the health insurance valid for the full validity of your visa or residence permit. So for at least a year, let's say. So you could potentially buy a health insurance now for 15 months, maybe. So you would have the price that there is there now, and you would have it whenever it's approved. You would still most likely have the 12 months left. But I don't think it's really like a good idea because again, what if your visa is denied? Then you could potentially cancel the insurance, but you don't get everything back. You get like 70% of what is left. So if you bought it for 15 months, you get the visa approved after, denied after 3 months, then they will only give you like 70% of the 12 months back. So you'll lose money, it makes no sense. So I would just wait for the approval, then immediately get in touch and we'll see what the prices are. We'll calculate all the all the most recent prices and all the insurance companies we work with, and we'll see. Sheikh Faiz, new subscriber, I'm from Pakistan. Thank you very much for subscribing. Hopefully the channel will be useful for you. Mohsin Sony. Sorry for mispronouncing. Hello dear, I applied for a volunteer visa to the Czech Republic from Morocco, 1 month now. I've been already there in Czech Republic Erasmus and also for Czech language courses and the organization. There is probably the rest of the question missing because I don't see a question there, Mohsin. Krishnan Kumar, I need to go faster because there are plenty of questions and I only have 5 minutes left, so let's go faster. Krishnan Kumar, I didn't fill my parents' name in the visa form, but provided my passport and birth certificate with the documents. Will my visa be rejected? Probably not. Of course, you should fill the form properly with all the information they need. Question is why you didn't fill it in. You just like missed that part, or you said like, fuck it, I will not fill in my parents, it's too much work. But I don't think it should lead to a visa denial. If they need something from you, like additional information about your parents, they should ask. The worst case scenario is that you will not get your birth number because they cannot do it without this information. But other than that, I don't think it will be denied because of that. Derek Tanto, hi sir, it's possible for my visa to be approved through court. You mean that it was denied and you want to appeal and like fight with the state? I guess so, but it depends because generally there is no right for you to get a Czech visa. There is no right for it. Only Czech citizens are entitled, let's say, to live in the Czech Republic. Anyone else is not entitled to live here. So kind of like suing the state that they didn't give you a visa probably in general does not really have much chances of like winning because there is no legal right for you to live here. But of course, if the ministry, I think you could get potentially a win if there was something against the law by the government. So if they just deny the visa application because of your nationality or something like that, but that would be very difficult to prove. But if there was something like that they messed up, then you could potentially have a chance. But if they denied it based on some real reasons, then hardly, I would say. Abdul Wadud, I have long-term visa type other. Can I make trade license? What documents are required? Of course, that's one of the common things we do. So the best will be for you to get in touch and I'll be happy to send you the pricing for the service and all the documents, all that. But yeah, because you have the other visa, then you cannot work. So the trade license is one of the most common ways to deal with that. So we do that pretty often. The most important thing you will need is a criminal check from the country of origin. You need to get a fresh criminal check with all the apostilles or super legalization or whatever is required from your country. And then you need to get it translated into Czech, but then getting the trade license is definitely possible. So I would definitely start with that. That's what usually takes the most time, but then get in touch and we'll be happy to help. Sanjeev, how can I start vehicle insurance of others on a commission basis along with my current job? Well, if you want to be involved in insurance or like finance in general, all that, you need to first get, you need to pass some exams and you need to get certification from the Czech National Bank. As we, for example, have it as Move to Prague for health insurance. Then depending on what level of insurance you want to sell, because there are like different insurances based on the complexity of the insurance, all that. So then you need to pass a different level of the exam. So that would be definitely the first thing to look into, or maybe find a company you want to work with, like the insurance company, and ask them like if they would be willing to help and what exactly you need to do. Nihas, 6 months ago, I got an employment contract through an agency in India. Is there a chance to get embassy appointment with this contract for Czech visa? Okay, another person who's been scammed. Sorry to tell you that, but guys, you do this to yourself. If you pay someone to give you an employment contract, without like first verifying if you can ever get an appointment to even submit the application, that's kind of on you. Because especially in India, there is basically no chance you will ever get an appointment for an employee card because there are no available appointments unless your employer is enrolled in one of the programs. And even then you need to wait for the appointment like for 17 months or sometimes a bit shorter, sometimes a bit longer, but yes. So that's very unlikely to happen. And for maybe like a seasonal work or something, you could potentially get an appointment, but it's not very likely either. So guys, first, before you get an employment contract, like watch my videos or like just ask the agency if they can get you an appointment, and if they say that they don't do that, then don't get the employment contract because you will not be able to use it. Anders, thank you so much. Your videos are really helpful. Thank you very much. Happy to hear that. Sotido Miran, what's the best way to find accommodation, room bed in Brno? Well, that depends on your situation. If you're looking for a place to live to have accommodation for your visa application, that's probably not gonna happen. And then I would go with whatever your school provides or whatever your employer provides, all that. Because finding a place to live, if you're not here, and you don't know exactly when you will arrive and if ever you will arrive, because your visa or residence permit can get denied, and it's almost impossible to find something. But if you're already here, I've done plenty of videos about this topic. So if you go to the playlists in my channel, I don't know where you need to click to get my channel, but if you get there, there is a playlist section, and I have playlists about finding accommodation. So I shared plenty of tips there. La Apo, hello Jan, I just sent you email regarding the insurance. Please check, thank you. Thank you very much. One of my colleagues will get in touch with you and they will explain everything. Derek Tanto, my lawyer asked me to proceed to the court for my visa. Is it possible to be approved? Well, if you have a lawyer who's taken care of that case, stick to whatever they advise you, because I don't know anything about your case. They should know something about your case if they're your lawyer. So you can try, but my opinion is what I mentioned before. Like if there was a problem at the side of the Ministry of the Interior, you can try. If there was a problem on your side or some general reasons to deny, probably makes no sense. Mahbub, sir, I would like to know if visa is approved, then how the embassy will inform. Usually they send you an email. Sometimes in some countries they might call you, but usually they send you an email. But also check your spam folder, because sometimes the emails of embassies go to the spam because they might have like a different formats. But yeah, they usually do email. Simon Omori, hello, does work visa have quotas? Well, it depends on the country. In many countries, many African countries and many Asian countries, yes, there are quotas, so you often cannot even submit your application, but it depends on the country. War 10 CK3, whatever that means. My original work contract was submitted in New Delhi embassy for my wife's visa application. The embassy said it could be retrieved from the ministry. My company won't issue, what should I do? Well, yes, of course, it can affect you later because you will need it again to prove that you're employed. So it's not good that you gave them the original. That was a big mistake. You should have at least made an authorized copy for yourself. I mean, technically, it's possible to request it from the ministry to get it back, but I've never seen that happen in real life, that they would... Because your file is probably somewhere like in the archive, wherever, so someone would need to like physically go there, look for your file, look for that. There are some procedures they need to follow. I don't think anyone will do it in real life. So most likely you've lost the original, and yes, it can affect you in the future. But of course you can try, and you can go other routes as well, but that's not good. Never give them the originals unless you have more of anything, like marriage certificate, birth certificate, employment contracts, lease agreements. Don't give anyone the originals. Always make copies, official copies, and use those. Do you have some information about volunteer visa and if it's easy to get? We don't really deal with that because I don't really understand that. Like the volunteer visa, that's very, that's not like a category, official category. So it usually goes under some other categories. And then it depends on the mood of the officer who's dealing with your application, if they see it as like a real reason for you to be here or not. So it's hard to say. It depends on the documents you submit and how solid is the story. That I don't have much experience with that. Listen, Tube, should I apply September 25th? What does it mean? I don't know. If you tell me a bit more, I might be able to answer that. Ernest Giamfi, hello Jan, I would like to apply for a family reunification visa for my minor daughter. Do I still have to enroll her on public insurance when she comes if I apply for a long-term visa instead of residence permit? No, if you apply for a visa, she cannot get enrolled into the public system, so she will need to get the private. And of course, if you need any help with the application or the insurance, get in touch. We'll be happy to help. Isaac, while waiting for a decision for the family reunification visa of my wife, is there any follow-up I can do here in Czech or like an office I can inquire about the process? Well, it depends on how long it takes, because the visa application should be decided within 60 to 90 days. The residence permit application, though, in most cases is up to 270 days. So it's like 9 months or whatever. So until then, until they reach the official deadline, you should not really contact them and ask them for any like faster processing or anything like that, because they don't like it. But after they reach the deadline, so if they have 90 days and it's been like 100 days, you can request the status update or like you can make a complaint. Avi, hi, can you suggest any good social media channel that would help me get accommodation? Mine? Avi, come on. Go to my playlists. If you go to the, I don't know how it's called here, profile or whatever, the main page of the YouTube, go to playlists, and I have multiple videos there about like how to find accommodation, where I quote the best websites where to go, give you some tips about how to behave, what to do, where to look, what not to do. So definitely my channel. Adam KB, hey, so I'm thinking of switching jobs. I'm currently on an employee card, but I don't have free access to labor market. Do I need my new employer to sponsor a visa for me to make that switch? Yes, of course. If you don't have free access to the labor market, your new employer must provide you with the vacancy number. So they need to post the position to the labor office, all that. And you need to follow all the rules. Like you cannot be unemployed for more than 60 days. You need to report the change of employer at least 30 days before your start, all that. So yeah, they kind of need to sponsor you. June, ahoy Jan, ahoy June. How strict is the criminal background check? Will it bar entry if you have a marriage visa? You mean if you have a record in the criminal check? Well, it depends. Depends on the record, of course. If you killed 7 people, probably yes. Probably they will not let you in. If you just like, I don't know, you smoke weed and drove, probably that will not be much of a problem. For family reunification, that's kind of a weird situation, because yes, if you have any record in your criminal check, that can be a valid reason to deny your application in general. But for family reunification, the Czech Republic kind of respects family. So general approach is that they should not separate families. So they should kind of lean towards like getting you here or getting your visa approved. On the other hand, if there is the criminal check, they might be more cautious about the application. They might go more into details. So it's hard to say. Definitely not good to have a record in your criminal check. Abroad travel with LAL. What is the procedure? Move inside Europe country for employee card from Romania to the Czech Republic. Well, the most You always need to find a job first. That's the requirement for the employee card, and the job willing to sponsor you. And then the question is how long you've been living in Romania, because if you are non-EU citizen, and depending of course on the country, so I would need to know a bit more, but if you're say from India, so you can only apply for the employee card in India, which is impossible, or in the country where you've been living for more than 2 years. So if you've been in Romania for more than 2 years, you could potentially apply there or whatever embassy is responsible for Romania. But if you haven't been there for more than 2 years, you can only apply in the country of origin, and that might be in some cases pretty complicated. So the last question here will be Isaac or Isaac. But first, Ramachandran. How long health insurance offer is available? Well, we've been working with 6 companies. We will be accepting a 7th now. So we can always get you some quotes from them, and they might still have good prices. It's just what I mentioned in the previous video is the best offer on the market now, which is 12,900 if you're below 30. Which really I haven't seen for quite a long time, couple of years probably. So it's hard to say for how long the company will keep it open, but I don't know. It can be for another 3 months. So if you wait a bit, you might still be fine. They might cancel it next week. You know, you never know. It's a promotion, so they have some plan with that, and it depends on them when they cut it. But even if there is no longer this option available, we can still send you some other quotes, which hopefully will be pretty good as well. So the last questions. Unfortunately, guys, Lifeless, Engineer Liban, and Ernest Giamfi, I will not answer your questions anymore because the last one will be Isaac Yusuf, but you can get in touch or comment under the video, and I'll maybe reply to your comments later. So Isaac, so we've been dating since 2020. I moved to Czech in February 2023. I visited her in August and December 2023. We got married in January 2024. Also, she has not done change of surname because that can be complex since we have submitted the application. So can having various surnames affect the application? Well, if all the documents must have the same names or the correct names. So if in your marriage certificate it says that the names after marriage will be this and this, and her name is as what is in the marriage certificate, that's fine. But if in your marriage certificate it said that she will be getting your name, but in her passport is still her like maiden name before marriage, that would be a problem. Because she has to update the passport when she changes the surname officially. So that could be a problem. But if you agreed that you will not be changing names, so she can still keep using the old passport. Unless the passport says that she's unmarried, which most of passports do not say. Czech ID, for example, says that, but not Czech passport. So if you haven't changed names officially, like in the marriage certificate, then you should be fine. So guys, thank you very much for watching today. I said 20 minutes, it's 35. So no, but that was good. I like that because there are questions coming and almost from the beginning. Usually it takes a couple of minutes to get people like asking. Today it was pretty fast. So thank you very much. And I will see you again Monday, Thursday, until the end of the world. Bye bye guys. Good night.